other people's money. Other people's money. You like borrow money and don't pay it back.
All right, look, hold on, hold on. We just said something about like not getting in debt. Don't spend more. Don't spend a paycheck before you get it. Now you saying borrow people's money and don't pay it back. You got to explain that one.
Borrow money and don't pay it back. Who think they know what I mean when I say that? Borrow money and don't pay it back.
Kyle Smith grants. Yeah, I
Nope.
like that one.
That ain't what I mean, Kyle Smith. That ain't what I mean. Somebody commented on a YouTube video the other day of mine, or again, it might have been this live stream. He was like, it was $11,000 to go to CDL school wherever he is. I think he was in Canada. I could be wrong. He mentioned having wanting to get a class 1 CDL, not a class A. So he might have been in Canada. But I asked him. I'm waiting for him to respond with how much does he expect to make as a class 1 CDL driver. And the general concept there is if you can make enough as a driver to pay the loan back, then do it. Like do it, right? Like you know what I mean? Like if you can't make enough on the loan with the job to pay the loan back, then it don't make sense to do it. But if you can make enough to pay the loan back to do it, that's the general principle there. So it's a lot of ways, family, that you can borrow money and not pay it back. Something that I haven't done yet, but you can totally do it. Borrow money, buy a truck, put a driver in it, put the truck over at a place where it's got solid work, and then the driver and the truck is paying the payment on the truck, on the loan. And then at the end of the transaction, you've got a paid off piece of equipment. If you do it that way, if you go with a piece of equipment, you got a paid off piece of equipment that you didn't have to pay for, right? You got credit established with a lending institution because the work was done and the money paid the loan back, but it didn't come out of your pocket. So I mean, that's just an example, family. Listen, you have to be creative enough to execute that in your own world based on your own expertise, based on your own knowledge, based on your own risk tolerance and your own knowledge. Like there's a bunch of different ways that, whatever you have knowledge of. So you can borrow the money and figure out a way. It takes creativity. That's the thing, though. It don't take creativity to just borrow money to buy consumer items. It takes creativity to say, what am I going to do with this borrowed money when I get it? How am I going to get it to pay for itself? How am I going to get it to produce a return? Real quick, family, for the last few weeks, I've been going live with my audience here on the channel every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I really enjoy it. I plan to stay as consistent as I can with that in the future going forward. Now, obviously, the edited videos, like the one you're watching right now, I'm going to continue with those. But in my opinion, there's really nothing like the interaction and engagement that is available only in a live stream. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, though, then you're not being notified when we're live here. And I don't leave my live streams public. I rip out the valuable parts, edit it, and re-upload those videos. So if you miss these live streams, then you're missing out on the opportunity to be able to really engage and interact with me and with the audience here on the channel. So before you click off of this video, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so you'll be reminded. You'll get a notification right on your phone whenever we're live. And it doesn't matter whether you're new in trucking or if you're a veteran, you've been around for a while, or if you're just thinking about getting in trucking. I normally come up with some pretty valuable topics to discuss in the lives. Consider subscribing to the channel, family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now let's get back to the video. If you ain't playing the credit game, you're losing out in America as far as I'm concerned. America was built on credit. It's built on borrowing money. Borrowed money is not taxed. There's people that figured out a way to be able to live on borrowed money. That's crazy when you say it because most of us are paying taxes on the money that we live on. Some people figured out a way to live on borrowed money. That means they living tax-free. Damn, that's hot. Damn, that's hot. Right? Like you don't pay taxes on a loan. You understand? So yeah, I ain't saying I know how to do it, because if I knew how to do it, I'd be doing it already. But I'm just saying, like, knowing how to handle other people's money. And most of us handle other people's money. We're consumers, but figure out a way, be creative in a way, borrow some money. If you got the credit, right? You know what I mean? Like somebody mentioned earlier about creating the entity, create the entity, right? Make it fundable. I talked about that on a video a few weeks ago. And then, borrow money, under that entity, under that EIN, under that profile. So you keep it off of your personal profile. The credit game is where it is, right? So figure out a way to use other people's money. Figure out the way to use borrowed money to bring more money into your life. So you're working, you're making money, you're spending your money that you make in a way that it brings a return, and you're borrowing money and using it wisely in a way that it brings a return. Queen V, if you're talking about what figuring out a way to borrow money and make it come back, if that's what you're saying when you say you wish you knew how to do that, again, that is your own knowledge and your own comfort level and your own experiences. Okay. What I mean by that is, people say all the time, risk is mitigated by increasing knowledge. Okay. So you shouldn't invest in something that you don't understand. That's a principle that we're talking about right here. I used to sell Kirby vacuums, right? So I know where there are certain gaps in that industry that the regular person wouldn't know. So that's what I mean when I say base it on your own expertise. I'm in trucking right now. So if somebody was to come to me with a deal on a truck, like I'm better equipped right now to recognize a deal on a truck or good value on a truck. This guy trying to sell me a truck that's worth $25,000, and for whatever reason I can get it for $15,000. Okay, that's an opportunity right there to be able to borrow money and then have the money produce the return. Like you can borrow the money, buy the truck for 15 and then sell it, turn around and sell it for 25 if you run across a circumstance like that, right? So, but you can't do that if you don't have the knowledge of the truck, if you don't know a deal when you run across it. So that's what I mean when I say that, Queen V. Everybody has a specific knowledge base and a skill set. Everybody's knowledgeable about something. So, in your space, like there are ways to figure it out, right? He said, is it risky to buy a dump truck? It's risky to buy a dump truck if you don't know what you're doing. True Blossom, I would assume it ain't risky to buy a dump truck if you know what you're doing. It's risky for me to buy a dump truck. You think it would be risky for you to buy a dump truck?
Me?
Yes.
Probably.
Why?
Because I don't understand that part of the industry.
Yeah, like it's really just that simple. It really is just that simple, all right? Is this a risky investment? You're using a dump truck, but it don't matter what word it is. Is Bitcoin a risky investment? Is investment real estate, is that a risky investment? Are bonds a risky investment? Is, NFTs, cryptocurrency, is that a risky investment? If you don't know what you're doing, yes. Anything is risky if you don't know what you're doing. Absolutely. If you don't know what to invest in, you should invest in yourself. You should invest in yourself. Investing in yourself will help you learn what to invest in. So if you don't know what to invest in yourself. You can't go wrong with that one. Invest in your own knowledge. So if you like that clip and you want to see another, just click right here. Or if you want to see the whole live stream, just click right here. Thank you for watching The Helpful Trucker.